Let's understand the tiny costume wardrobe and rate it for different styles of play. The tiny costume wardrobe was introduced to Mr. Store in 2009 and is available for purchase on April 1st every year. Unlike modern Mr. Store items, the tiny costume wardrobe is purchased and used directly from Mr. Store without becoming an untradeable version of itself. This means that if you have buyer's remorse, you can always list the tiny costume wardrobe for sale in the mall. Attentive shoppers may find a good deal any day of the year by watching for a low price in the mall. The tiny costume wardrobe is familiar equipment for any familiar. The wardrobe cannot be used in hardcore ascensions and is not automatically pulled from Hanks. Early in the game's history, Mr. Store items would often be unavailable in hardcore ascensions to create a more level playing field for speedruns. If you equip the tiny costume wardrobe on your active familiar, the wardrobe will override your familiar's typical effects and instead make it act as a different random familiar for every combat. This can be a lot of fun. For example, if you temporarily get the effects of a rare or powerful familiar, like the Robotender, or terrible, for example, if you temporarily get the effects of the Bad Moon Special Challenge Pass, Black Cat. The tiny costume wardrobe can only be overridden by the Some Pigs intrinsic from the optional Road to White Citadel guild quest. The wardrobe has no effect outside of combat. Most of the time, you'll want to avoid equipping the tiny costume wardrobe so as to enjoy the deterministic effects of your chosen familiar, such as stat gain, increased item drops, or other beneficial effects. The tiny costume wardrobe can be used to shake up gameplay and sample the abilities and drops of any familiar in the game, however. The tiny costume wardrobe is also a good choice whenever you're forced to adventure with an undesirable familiar. As an example, the Stupor is a familiar that adds 1 to your liver capacity while it is your active familiar and provides no other benefits. The Stupor can help you finish out your adventures if you mistakenly drink just over your liver capacity or you want to use every possible adventure for a world event. Unfortunately, as soon as you switch familiars, your character is overdrunk again. Equipping the tiny costume wardrobe on the Stupor lets you continue adventuring since your liver capacity is increased by 1, while your Stupor behaves as a different random familiar for every combat. So how does the tiny costume wardrobe measure up? If you typically loop hardcore ascensions, you won't be able to use the tiny costume wardrobe at all. Even if you can equip the wardrobe, you may not use it often since you typically want the known benefits from familiars you already own instead of throwing the dice for every combat. The tiny costume wardrobe can be useful when your usual familiars aren't available for whatever reason. The wardrobe can also be fun to experience different familiars that you may not own. I rate it 2 out of 5 stars for quality of life. Since the wardrobe turns your familiar into another at random, there's no way to predict or plan for your familiar's abilities or benefits while adventuring. The wardrobe does not provide any benefit outside of combat. I rate the tiny costume wardrobe 1 out of 5 stars for farming, PvP, and speedruns. I hope this helps you decide if you should pick one up.